What's going on? Welcome to Thumb Tacos. My name is Jared. Today I got 7 things in streaming that if you are guilty of doing any one of these things, it's probably hurting your growth. Stay tuned. As I always want to thank you guys for stopping by. Look, it's hard enough to grow a Facebook gaming page in general, just to get a stream going, just to get viewers, just to get some type of momentum in streaming is incredibly difficult. And there's a lot of things that we do in the beginning of streaming that will hold us back, that will keep us in place, that'll keep us from growing, or it'll keep us from getting to that next level. If you guys have found yourselves plateaued, or if you haven't even got to the level up program yet, if you find yourself nodding your head to a lot of these things today, it's okay. As long as you address these things, you can make the turnaround and you can definitely improve your streams. But I feel like not enough of these videos address these problems. So, without further ado, these are 7 things that are just destroying stream growth on Facebook gaming. Killer number 1. I know, it's clickbaity. It's killing it. It's killing your stream. Anyway, killer number 1 is having guest vocals on your stream. So that could be game chat, it could be Discord chat, other teammates playing games with you, or co-hosts. Now, there's a different way to approach each one of these. So very briefly, if you have game chat on your stream, if their level is above yours even a little bit, it'll bury you as the streamer in your streams. This is something I see time and time again in beginning streamers or people that don't pay attention to their audio levels. On your mixer on OBS or Streamlabs OBS, there is a mixer where you can see your audio moving when you're talking. When that is spiking and just touching into red as your voice, that's good. If you have guests on, you want them to be slightly behind where your voice is peaking out. Peaks are as far as that band will move forward on that meter. When you see that meter, whatever you label it for desktop audio or your microphone audio, whatever it's labeled out in your mixer, you want to be peaking just into the red, not all the way to the right, just kind of touching into that red like a paintbrush stroke. Think about it that way. And then you want everything else to be just behind it, and you will be fine. That's the most broad way I can explain this. Now, if you have a co-host, you want their brush stroke pump. I don't know if that's helping you guys. If you need a better description, message me in the comments. I'll try to clear this up. If you have a co-host on, try to get it to look exactly how yours is when they're comfortably talking. A lot of times, if I have guests on, I'll be like, can you give me a check? And as they're talking to me before setup, I'll keep an eye on the mixer to make sure it's as close as I can get it. Audio levels are huge in streaming. They are number 1. That's why I bring them up a lot. But if your game audio or your guest chat audio or whatever other audio is going on, if it's burying you as the streamer and people can't hear what you're saying as you're doing things, it's distracting. They will leave. So pay attention to it. It's extremely important. On to the next stream killer. Missing chat. I know it seems like something that shouldn't have to be said, but you know what happens is I think when you're streaming to nobody, a lot of the time you get used to not watching the chat. That's something you have to practice as an up and coming streamer. You have to pay attention to your chat nonstop all the time. As soon as somebody comes in, if they say hi, you have like 10 seconds to respond to them before they leave. That's it. And there have been so many times that I've visited streamers. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I sit and I wait. And they're in the gameplay, and they got something intense happening, and you sit and wait, but there's no other chatters. There's no reason for them not to be able to glance down and catch that quick little, hey, what's going on? Or even to address, hey, just give me 1 second, let me finish this. Any one of those approaches is fine, but a lot of times people miss that opportunity. And then when they get done, they're like, oh, hey, what's going on? But the problem is, once you notice it too late, that viewer is gone, and you're talking to nobody once again. Now, here is a quick tip on how to improve your chat interaction if you're streaming and you're trying to get used to watching chat. Turn on somebody else's stream when you're gaming on your downtime, when you're not streaming live. Just turn on your computer or whatever, put their chat somewhere. I'm serious. Put their chat up and play your game and watch that chat move and try to read it and kind of pay attention. Practice talking to it. Practice reacting to it. It doesn't matter. This is a great tool that I heard from a great streamer on Twitch that suggested this, and I've been following it when I started to improve my chat engagement, and I still need to practice chat engagement because a lot of nights it's very busy and I got to keep on it, and I got to remind myself, hey, your viewers are more important than the damn gameplay in general. Unless you are a master gamer, then hats off to you. All right, stream killer number 3. I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this one. I have friends that I know that watch this stuff, and they're probably gonna call me out for it. But before you get mad at me, dudes and dudettes, wait till I get done with the whole tip, so maybe you will understand where I'm coming from. Drinking smoking, vaping, doing anything like that on your stream has a negative impact on your stream. Hold on, don't get too mad at me now. Look at it this way. If you choose not to do any of those things, there's no negative impact at all. And if you choose to do those things on stream, you do have a negative effect on viewers. Some people don't. They're either recovering addicts, or they just quit smoking, or they don't want to see it, or it's audibly distracting. Now, if you do these things and you don't care and you're aware of it, hats off to you. Do what you want to do. Crimson Grows. Love you, buddy. But that's something to at least acknowledge. So if you're looking to improve something, that's something that you do and you haven't thought about it, maybe this will help you out a little bit. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. It's just observational stuff here on Thumb Tacos. That's what I do. Stream killer number 4. You cannot ask for money live when you're streaming. You should never ask for money when you're streaming in general. You shouldn't ask for handouts. You shouldn't ask for stars. You shouldn't star beg. All that is negative and not good on streaming. And the problem with this is Streamlabs will have star goals and everything else, and you'll want to raise money for certain things, and that's fine. There are ways to do it where it's perfectly fine. But if you're just asking for money because you just want money, people can't stand that. They can't stand seeing it. I did an experiment on my own stream. I've actually done this on my own page. I spent 1 month, I put a star goal up for no reason. $300. So let's see if we hit it. We didn't hit it. That was the first time I think I came under that in forever. And it was because I put a star goal up with no real goal to it. It was just, hey, I just want your stars. It comes off kind of petty. It doesn't look great. So then we tried another experiment. We put a star goal, something ridiculous. We made a little bit more money. And then I did something very different. I didn't use a star goal for like 3 weeks, and I made more money than both those months. That is the point. Anytime on my streaming in the last year, I have always made more in stars and more in donations, not talking about donations, not talking about stars, not having the star goal on my stream. In my experience and other streamers that I've talked to about this is the outcome. You can make more if you don't acknowledge it and you let it go, because you will appear like that's not why you're streaming. And if you are streaming for that goal in mind to only make money, you will fail sooner or later, because it's not a realistic expectation in streaming. It's extremely difficult to even make minimum wage in streaming on any platform. And I'm not kidding, on any platform. It's extremely rare. There's only like the top 5% of streamers maybe make minimum wage. And then beyond that, to actually go full time is like within 1 or 2% of that. It's a very, very narrow window that's getting more narrow as time goes on, because there's more and more streamers. Let go of the money and it will come to you as long as you improve your stream overall. Let's get to the next stream killer. I'm going to make this really quick. Intros, long intros, fancy intros, extremely detailed intros, animated intros, fun intros, crazy whatever intros hurt your retention in the beginning of your stream. And if you're a beginning streamer, this is terrible for your page. Twitch, it's a different story. YouTube might be a different story, because the way their notification system goes out, it's actually a little bit slower. So people on Twitch are there to watch streamers. People on Facebook Gaming, you have to grab their attention right away. The algorithm throws some people at you, and if they come to a starting soon screen and they don't know who you are, they're not going to engage with your stream, and they're just going to leave. And that tells the algorithm that people aren't interested in what you have to offer. So if you're just starting out, get away from intros. Just go live, talk a little bit, be engaging, and get to the gameplay as quick as possible in the beginning. In the beginning, this is incredibly important. Trust me. Look at your retention lines. Look at it between intro nights and non-intro nights, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Your retention will improve by skipping intros. Next stream killer. Streaming too often and not on a schedule. This is jarring and hard to follow for a lot of people, so you don't have a lot of consistency. Now, there are full-time streamers out there that do this, and they do it a lot, and they stream often. That's not so much of a problem, because when you're full-time, you can kind of fill up a lot of gaps and windows, so it makes sense. But if you're an up-and-coming streamer and you're not full-time yet, you probably look at those streamers as your role models, as like a goal, like, oh, I got to go live as much as they do. Not necessarily. When you're beginning, you got to have that traction to build a community first, to give you a stable foundation. That's more important than streaming as often as possible. And the only way you can get that is being consistent. So pay attention to having a schedule if you can have one, or at least being consistent on the time that you go live. And eventually you'll start getting that momentum. You'll start getting people back in your streams, in your chats, and you'll start building your foundations. Build your foundations first, and then expand later on. I guarantee you most of those partnered streamers or other full-time streamers are doing the same thing. They started building their foundations. Now they're streaming all the time because they had the doors open. They can do it. Don't jump the gun or misunderstand why they're doing it. Next stream killer. All right, this is the last one, and it wouldn't seem like it's that important or that big of a deal, but bad lighting on your webcam is actually a deterrent for people to watch you because it looks unprofessional. You do not need a top-of-the-line camera. You don't need the best of the best. You don't need a DSLR or a upgraded GoPro or any of that crazy kind of stuff. You don't necessarily need that. Sure, that looks nice. It looks great. But if you don't have lighting, it looks like shit. It can look really bad if you don't know what you're doing. I am not a professional in this light. I would tell you to go on YouTube and look at lighting techniques and video editing lighting techniques and all that kind of stuff. Anything to bring more information to yourselves. I looked up some basic stuff and angles and kind of did my own thing. I'm colorblind, so I do the best I can with my lighting. But you'll never see me stream in a dark room where you can't see me at all. You will always have some type of lighting. And just to give you an example of how bad lighting can be, here we go. Nobody's going to take you seriously if you look like this when you're going live. And all you need is a couple lights to improve it. Here's one ring light on, turned up. This doesn't look great, but at least you can see my face. That's just with one light, and then you make other adjustments to improve this, all right? So keep in mind how important some lighting is. And this right here is just 2 lights on. This is a real basic setup. This isn't with any flash behind me or anything hitting the back shoulder here. But this is a clamp light up here and one little ring light on my desk. That's it. Even this would be acceptable if you're streaming, just so you can see who the hell is streaming and when they talk to you. So just keep that in mind, how important lighting can be and how inexpensive your webcam can be when you're moving forward in streaming. Guys, if you like this video, if you found this helpful, if you're guilty of any of these things, it's okay. But consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel. That way you can keep up with my weekly content. I'm making us all better streamers. These videos come from my own experiences. I've been in your shoes. I'm still in your shoes. Hopefully you guys find this stuff helpful. And if you ever want to talk live, my live link is in the description below. Until next time, take care.